So this story starts with my at-the-time girlfriend racing out of the woods to me, covered head to toe in mud, sticks in her hair, and the biggest grin on her face. Somehow, while teaching survival skills at a camp in the backwoods of Virginia, where there is no internet for miles around, she had enrolled herself in grad school, got a job offer, and found us a place to live. There was just one catch. We had to be in Eugene, Oregon in 10 days. One look into her eyes and I knew we were going. But that night, telling my family would become an absolute gut-wrenching shouting match of fear and panic. My parents thought this was the dumbest thing I could possibly do. Chasing my girlfriend and her crazy ideas all the way to Eugene. Then they told us the worst part. We would receive absolutely no help from them. And they didn't want to hear from us at all if we left. It was suddenly devastating to me to find that my family would no longer want anything to do with me. My own twin brother told me he wished that we had had a horrible accident along the way. And there was nothing like seeing someone with your own face telling you they wished you death and pain. The reactions caused me to second guess myself. Was I making the right choice? Did I want to go to Oregon? No. But I wanted to be with her, and I wanted to make a life together. And there was only one person who was actually saddened by the thought of us leaving, and that was my Grandma Rose. Grandma Rose was a German immigrant who, like her family, came to America pre the First World War. She was so stubborn and funny, and she could launch into stories with different character voices on the fly if power went out in a lightning storm. She was always in the kitchen. And all those years, I was the only one in the family allowed to be in there with her. I used to always, every year, ask her to make her family's special sour beef recipe. A recipe that for her took 5 days to make. And she would do it without question. It's funny. Back then, I didn't realize just how important she would be to me. But we hit the road with our hopes and dreams, but it would not be smooth sailing. First thing we did is we got caught in a hurricane and then broke down with a massive crack in the radiator. Grandma Rose was who I called for encouragement and support as I'm fighting the wind and the rain. I'm scared, I'm cold, I'm wet. I offered her encouragement and we were repaired. Then we got so lost in Missouri that we got chased from a property, but what I can only describe as a herd of hundreds of wiener dogs. You do not know fear until you are surrounded by ankle biters climbing up your body like you're in a wall in a zombie film. But it was Grandma Rose who would go to the library and find us directions to get us back to a main road. We finally pulled up in Oregon. We were half delusional and starving. We found out the place we had expected to rent wasn't going to be available like we thought. It was Grandma Rose that reminded us that we had made it that far, 3,000 miles, and she was not going to let us quit. So, we pitched a tent in the back of a farm field in exchange for milking goats. An utterly ridiculous start to Oregon living. But we had made it in Eugene in our 10-day window. My girlfriend got to start her job, she started grad school, and I had no idea what I was going to do. was Grandma Rose who gave me advice for that too. I would enroll in Lane Community College and eventually UO, and I would come to graduate. First person in my family to do so. Right before graduation, I hadn't been able to reach Grandma. Considering we had talked every day on the phone, I thought we would connect soon. Then I got a sudden call from my mom. Grandma Rose had gotten very sick and nobody bothered to tell me. By the time my mom did call, I found out that my grandma had already passed away for 3 days. Afterwards, I just thought about how much she had given us, how much she had helped us, how much she had been a shelter and a rock for us, and how that with her help we had made a life together 3,000 miles away when everybody else said we wouldn't. When we learned we were going to have a baby, we decided to honor my grandmother with that same amount of love. So we changed all of our last names to Rose. We became a family, and we put down our own roots. My name is Bob Rose. I'm the storyteller here for Intertwined 2026, and I'm the faculty canvas support coordinator for University of Oregon. So it was kind of my new, the new admin or office of the provost, admin for our department suggested Intertwined for if anybody was interested in signing up, and I thought at the time, what the heck, I've done storytelling before. So I applied. Didn't think much past it, and then all of a sudden got an acceptance email and had that moment of, oh God, what have I done? I would say that my story was a little challenging getting it ready for Intertwined, and because previous times when I've told this story, there's so much that gets left out. I only have a short window, whereas previously when telling this story, I was an outdoor educator, and me and my partner, who is part of the story, would tell it, and we'd be entertaining high schoolers and middle schoolers and trying to make them laugh at all the crazy things that would go wrong. Whereas in Intertwined, we shortened down the list of things that went wrong and focused more on the deeper emotional side of the story that very few people actually get to hear about. So just always be aware of family, and maybe not the immediate family that you expect, and that there is always somebody out there that you can find who will love and support you. You may not know it at first, but they're there, and when they're gone, you feel it the hardest.